Hey, what's up everyone, and welcome to my review for Captain America, the Winter Soldier. Oh, it's finally here. I could not wait for this film. Now, before I actually start, I should say I did a review with my friend Gerard yesterday. It was a Gorecast review, which of course, Gorecast is my podcast. Me and him reviewed it, and we talked a lot about it. We even talked about some spoiler stuff. So if you want to hear my review with my friend Gerard and hear his opinion, go ahead. It's like a 30-minute review, but we made sure it's an audio review, so you don't need to pay attention. You can listen to it while you're doing other things. But this one is going to be my official review of Captain America the Winter Soldier. I could not wait for this movie. Did he throw his mighty shield? He did. He definitely did. But was it good? Let's talk about the story. The story for Captain America the Winter Soldier takes place, I think, a couple years after the events of the Avengers. And of course it follows Captain America, Steve Rogers, played by Chris Evans once again, who is currently working for S.H.I.E.L.D. He's doing little missions like, of course, saving hostages, retrieving intel, yada yada. And of course he does not really trust S.H.I.E.L.D., but he does the missions anyway because he knows it benefits the country, but he doesn't trust S.H.I.E.L.D. It's kind of a shady corporation, and he's seen how shady it can be in the past. And of course, something happens where Captain America is actually branded a fugitive, and he has to pretty much run away from S.H.I.E.L.D. He has to get out of there and kind of clear his name because S.H.I.E.L.D. wants him dead. I don't want to spoil too much. And of course, there's a guy, the Winter Soldier. He's a badass. He wants to kill Captain America, yada yada. He has to clear his name. He has the Black Widow there, played by Scarlett Johansson, to help him. And there you go. I'm really bad at telling stories. I really am. And this is the second time I had to do it, and I'm not good at doing it. So whatever, you probably saw the movie by now. There you go, there's a story. Now, it's a shame I'm terrible at explaining stories because the story here is actually very good. It's actually excellent. It's really well done here. And what I really like is that the dialogue is not only very snappy, but when it gets serious and there's actually real conversations with no jokes happening, it's actually almost on the level of something like The Dark Knight, where it's actually really well done, very like good conversations, the story's getting progressed and you understand what's going on, and it's not just generic. It's actually really well done, and I love that. The characters are great in here. Me personally, I love Captain America, the first Avenger, and I even love Captain America in the Avengers, but here you actually get to see his personality shine. If you always thought he was just a soldier and he just does whatever his superiors tell him to. No, he actually is a person in this film, and he's actually extremely likable, and even at times he has moments where he's really funny, which I really like. They gave him a personality, and Chris Evans is excellent as Captain America. Yeah, again, all the relationships are great here. Captain America and Black Widow have a really, I wouldn't say strange, but not typical relationship in here. It's more like a buddy-buddy relationship where a lesser movie would make that more of a romantic relationship. This movie doesn't really do it too much. It's more of a buddy-buddy relationship, which I really like, and they're excellent together. Scarlett Johansson and Chris Evans, really snappy dialogue helps, but they are really just have a lot of chemistry together. They're great. Also, a lot of the other actors, like Anthony Mackie comes in as the Falcon, who is, first of all, starts off awesome. He's really funny, really likable, and then when he gets that Falcon suit, I was like, oh, he's so awesome, I love him. Of course, you have people like Robert Redford, who plays Alexander Pierce, the chairman of S.H.I.E.L.D., and he's great in this. I mean, it's Robert Redford, that's not surprising at all, but he's great. Of course, Samuel L. Jackson comes back as Nick Fury, and this is probably the best we've seen him yet because he actually does something in this. I mean, I know Avengers, he picked up a rocket launcher and blew up a jet. Whoop-de-doo. In this movie, people are screwing with him, and he busts out a machine gun and starts shooting everybody, and then he gets into a high-speed car chase. He actually does a lot in this film, and I think Samuel L. Jackson is great, of course. And of course, Sebastian Stan plays the Winter Soldier, who is awesome in this film. First of all, I'll talk about him a little bit later, but he is an awesome character, and I love that he feels a lot like the Joker in a way, except of course he's not joking around. The reason why I say that is because in The Dark Knight, the Joker isn't in the movie too much. He's not in it a whole lot. In this movie, it's the same thing. He's not in it too much, but he's in it enough. And when he's in it, he is a presence. He definitely is. So yeah, the acting, the characters, the writing, the story itself, it's really excellent. I just love that it's a spy thriller. I love that. I love spy thrillers, and it's very thrilling. The soundtrack is great. Just really mixes well with the action and, of course, the emotion. Oh, that's one other thing. This movie is emotional, too. Oh, my God. This movie's everything. The action in this film, when it starts picking up, is not only tense, extremely well filmed and extremely well choreographed, but it's just a breath of fresh air for a Marvel film. We've seen Thor, Iron Man 2, Iron Man 3, Thor 2, where it's all just like, oh, all right, I'll punch you into a building, or I'll punch you into a rock or something, or Iron Man will shoot his phasers, or Thor will friggin' swing his hammer and throw it at someone. I mean, sure, even Captain America 1, he throws his shield. We've seen that before. But in this movie, it's a breath of fresh air that there's so many moments where it's just man on man. It's just a fist fight. I love a good, well-choreographed, well-shot fist fight. And there are a few of them in this film. Whenever Captain America has to fight the Winter Soldier, there's actually one scene where they first fight, and it is so well shot and badass. Oh, it's so good. There's a beginning shot in this movie where Captain America has to save hostages on a boat, and Captain America, that boy don't play around. If he's going to save hostages, he's going to have to kill some people, because he throws his shield at all these pirates on this ship, and most of them most likely either have brain damage, a lot of broken bones, or they're dead. Most likely they're dead. He just massacres people there. And what I really love is that the sound is so good. If you saw this in IMAX, most likely it was better, but I saw it in a regular theater, and every time he hit someone with that shield, or he punched someone, or kicked someone off the boat, it was just, you hear this crunch or this thing from the shield. It is excellent. Oh my god. And this movie even has two really awesome car chases, and I love a good, well-filmed car chase. It is so good. The action, when it gets to it, is amazing. And if there's any problem with this film, is that the ending is more, explosive, boom, boom, boom action that you come to expect from Marvel. A lot of stuff blowing up. There's not a lot of fist fights towards the end. I mean, there is a couple, but a lot more explosions than just fist fights. But you know what? I felt that it was a very... It was a good transition into that. It wasn't just like, hey, out of nowhere, explosions. No, it was actually transitioning more into that, which I felt was, pretty well done. I mean, it was a good transition. So I really love this film. I really love that you get to know more about these characters. You get to see them talk, like just sit down and have conversations, build character. There's some great snappy dialogue, some really funny scenes. And of course, you get an awesome end credit scene that teases the next film, which I can't wait for. I mean, Captain America: The Winter Soldier, I said this in my last review, I have to give it a 40 out of 40. I have no complaints. Besides that one complaint that it becomes more explosive at the end, even that, like, it was such a good transition, and it was still awesome. The special effects were amazing. It was still great. So I don't have any complaints. I really don't. I love this film. It is the best Marvel film so far. It's really close to topping the Avengers. I need to see it a couple more times before I say so. But I love this film. So Captain America: The Winter Soldier, go check it out. It's the best Marvel movie I've seen in a very long time. Let's just say that. And there's been quite a bit of Marvel films in the last few years. So there you go. There's my review. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you and goodbye.